Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lacon, and I hope you are having a fantastically whimsical day. If not, hopefully this video makes your day just a little bit better. Today, we're going to be diamond painting while we discuss what it's like reading like a K-pop demon hunter. So go ahead, grab your art, grab your books, sit back, and let's just go ahead and dive right in to this bookish discussion. I am so excited. I guess before we officially start talking about the books, we should probably talk about this going on right here. So I got these, so for my birthday this year, I thought it would be so much fun to have like a diamond painting party. So we went and I found these from Art Dot. There was like 12 of paintings this size, which as you can see, putting my hand here, it's a good size. You can see it is 14 by 10. And so we just had everyone come pick out one and we just worked on it. Obviously didn't finish because it's so big, but I think it was great because I've just been getting into diamond painting recently and it's so much fun. I've completed one full diamond painting and I'm almost done with a second one that's a little bit bigger, but I obviously took a break from that one to try to finish this one because of how small it is and I don't have enough like uh containers to like kit it up properly and divide it and stuff. I just have to like go one color at a time throughout the entire piece. So yeah, we got to get this done sooner rather than later. So hopefully no dog and cat hair gets too embedded in it. But honestly, if we're being honest, it's already happened. Oh no, this drill has come off. It goes right. But yeah, I've been watching some whip and chats that a lot of diamond painting channels do. And I thought, what better way to do this, to talk about books, than doing a craft. I don't know if I continue doing like us hanging out, discussing books while I work on something. I don't know if it'll always be diamond painting because I have a bunch of other crafts that I really like. But yeah. So I guess first I want to show you these koi fish. I don't know if you can see it, but like they're super shiny. And it's just the koi. So like all the other drills. You can't see it that well. Sort of that fish right there. You can see it. Yeah. Very, very shiny. Ugh. So yeah. I have to remember where I'm at, what I'm doing, which color is this? I believe it's 6, which looks to be up here. So, what's it like reading like a K-pop demon hunter? So, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know what K-pop demon hunters is, I will happily explain it to you because honestly, it's all I can think about. It's all I can think about. I've watched it. I don't know if you can hear that, but my cat is scratching at the door trying to get in. um, I've watched it probably 3 times and I've listened to the soundtrack so much, honestly. It's, oh my goodness, the music is so great. But it's a K-pop Demon Hunters is a movie where you have demons that come from the underworld to steal the souls of humans. And so there's been 3 girls every generation chosen, and their singing helps defeat demons. So they're essentially using the power of their voice to combat these demons, and through having fans that really enjoy their singing, it seals the Honmun, which the Honmun is kind of like a blanket that goes over the entire city or the entire world and keeps the demons in the demon realm. But when there's tears in the Honmun, that's when the demons are able to like escape and get free. So we have three main characters, Rumi, Mira, and Zoe, who are K-pop idols, but are in the group called Huntrix, but they're also demon hunters, and they're so great. Oh my goodness. So funny, so talented.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique.
I wish they were a real I wish they were a real K-pop group, because oh, so good. So good. Oops. And it's not fully getting okay. Well, I got 3. I needed 4, but I got 3. If you don't know this about me, I really enjoy K-pop. I actually went to 2 K-pop concerts this summer. I went to see Stray Kids and I went to see ATEEZ. Both great concerts, but ATEEZ, probably one of my top. It is in my top 5 concerts of all time. So good. I also went to see Coldplay this summer, but that's not K-pop. But they did write songs with BTS, so it's K-pop adjacent. But I'm really into K-pop, and the groups I really like are, like I said, Stray Kids, ATEEZ, Twice, BTS, Mamamoo, Card, and honestly, I listen to a bunch, like, if I like a song, I'll add it, but those are, like, the groups that I, like, kind of keep track of. So whenever this movie came out, everyone was, like, asking me, have you heard? Like, all my friends, none of my friends are into K-pop, but everyone was asking me, have you heard this? Have you heard about this? Have you watched this? I'm like, yes, I have. You're a week late. Of course, I've already seen it, and I'm already in love with it. But because of how much I loved it, I wanted to just consume as much content of it as possible, watching a whole bunch of, like, watching idols do the dances to the songs and, like, dance covers, and then watching cosplayers dress up as them, and just so much stuff. It was only inevitable, only a matter of time, before I stumbled upon book recommendations based off of different aspects of the movie. And there was this one in particular that I'll put it up on the screen, like who the book recommendations were by, like the first one I saw, because that's where I got majority of the books that I'm reading right now. But I think I'm going to continue this. I think I'm going to read every book recommended if I have access to it, that is. And it was just an Instagram carousel with, like, this song. It had the song title at the top, and then it had 3 books that were kind of like that song, or like they were like, if you really like this song, read this book. And out of the 3, so there's 3 book recommendations on every single one, and every single one of those I only had access to one of the books, because I don't buy books. I do, but I don't buy books before I read them for the most part, unless I don't have access any other way to them. I mostly just buy books that I've already read and really like. So I use my library and Libby and Hoopla to consume my books. So I only had, through those 3 resources, which are technically all just one resource because it's all through the library, but through those, I was only able to get access to one of the books at a time. Oh, I dropped some. And so that made it a really easy choice of which ones I was gonna pick. So I didn't really look at what the book was about and be like, ooh, am I actually interested in this or not? I was just like, you know what? That's the one book on this list for each of the songs. That's the one book I'm gonna read. So, and then I saw some others where there were book recommendations for the characters specifically, like Rumi and Jinu, Mira, Zoe, and I think maybe they had some of the other demons as well, but I haven't read any of those yet. And I haven't fully completed. I've read 4 out of 7, and I'm currently reading 2 of them, mostly because, you know, sometimes when you have so many books on that like you have access to at the moment, like your loan is only for like 2 weeks and you have so many books during that time, like it seems like every book is getting added to your ability to read it all at once. Sometimes you don't make it. And so one of them, I have to wait until it comes back around to me before I can continue reading it. So that's why I'm currently reading 2 of them at the moment. Because one of them, I just have to, like, I'm halfway through it. I just have to wait until it comes back around to me. So, but we'll go ahead and start with first one I read, which I didn't read these in order because, you know, I'm reading them when they come available to me, and some of them do have holds and things like that. So the first one, ooh, what is that? Oh. The first one I read was The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie Oh. And this book was recommended because it was like the song what it sounds like. So the very last song that Huntrix sings to kind of just do the ending of the movie. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to spoil it for people who maybe who are watching this and haven't seen it. Again, I really recommend watching it, but that's like the very last song that they sing. And so it's a very like, at the beginning, it's a very like, oh my goodness, we're defeated song, but we're not going to let you defeat us. We're not going to let you break us. And just, it's a very like hopeful song. And then like it starts out slow, but then it builds up. The song kind of starts with like, I'm at my lowest point, but I'm still going to find strength to come through. And this book, like, if it's a good recommendation, I think so. I think it does kind of fit with some of the elements that happen within this book. I think it does nicely portray the song, but I didn't necessarily enjoy the book. The book was fine. I gave it 3 stars, and I like to break my rating down of how I get that rating. So for the characters, if I'm looking over here, because this is where I have it broken down. The characters I gave 3 stars to. So I thought the characters were pretty decent. I enjoyed watching them and rooting for them, but I wasn't like overly attached to them or like super duper invested in them. It was just kind of like, okay, yeah, sure. And then the plot was a 3.5. I thought the plot was very interesting. So essentially, there's always these super bad storms every year. And to appease the ocean god or the water god, the god that is essentially controlling the storms, to appease him, they sacrifice a young girl to be his bride every year. And it's always like the best of the best, in hopes that like if they sacrifice this girl, oops, that was sticky. And if they sacrifice this girl, then the storms won't be as bad, or even the curse of the constant storms will be broken. Because something happened over 100 years ago, and that's when the storms started. Also 100 years ago, their king vanished, like the king of the human world vanished. So like people kind of think those two things are connected, but they don't know for sure. And so our main character is on the boat, but she is not the girl who's supposed to be sacrificed. The girl who's supposed to be sacrificed is her brother's girlfriend, essentially, the love of his life, and he's trying to stop her from being sacrificed. But in doing so, he's putting himself in danger. So the sister is like, you know what? I volunteer as tribute. I volunteer to be taken and be the bride. And so she goes down, like she jumps down before anyone can really stop her, and she's sacrificed. And she's like, I'm gonna end this curse. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna keep my people safe from the torment of the storms. We'll go ahead and do a new color. We'll do 20 at 3. And so when she goes down to the spirit world, she meets some spirits, and then she also meets the king who she's connected to. And essentially her sole purpose is to fix everything. She's trying to fix stuff. She fell beneath the sea because that's the entry point into the spirit world. And she ends up at some point getting accidentally, her red string of fate is connected to someone else down in the underworld, and not the king or the god that it's supposed to be connected to. So it's a really good plot. It's a really interesting plot, and while sometimes it did get a little boring at times, or a little repetitive, and just like, okay, the plot is what kept me around, because I was very intrigued to see how they were gonna fix all this, how everything was gonna be fine, and because she was tied to this other person, how all of it was gonna play out. So the story did a really good job of keeping me intrigued in that way, but it's kind of the only thing that was keeping me intrigued, because emotion wise, essentially what I mean by emotions is like how I'm feeling about the book. If I'm like captivated by the book, if I'm like swooning over the book, or if I'm just like feeling the emotions of the people, essentially like how moved I was, how invested I was, kind of, Um, that was a 2. It was pretty much like, I know I'm reading a book the entire time. I'm interested in where the book goes, but like I had that book reader disconnect, and I wasn't able to be like fully immersed in the story. And so, and then the ending, which I won't spoil the book, but the ending I gave a 4. I thought this ending was absolutely perfect. There was something that happened that I didn't see coming, but looking back at the book afterwards, I was like, oh, I can see how it all connects. It's not like it came out of nowhere. It was very well thought out. It was just not something I had thought would happen. So it was a very good ending, a very like, everything was wrapped up so nicely, and it was just, it was perfect. Almost perfect. So I gave the ending of the story a 4. And so if we kind of add all those together, average it out, it's a 3-star book. So a little bit above average, but it's kind of just like, you know, I'm glad I read it, but it's not going to be a book I really think about or really like, it's not a new favorite, essentially. And so, would I recommend this for if you really like, if you really like the song, what it sounds like? Do I recommend this? Yes and no. Like, I think I would need to read the other books that are recommended based off of this song to see, because it might just be like the book, like this book did feel like that song. So in that way, it is a good recommendation. I just didn't particularly like the book. I didn't hate it, but again, it was just kind of like, it was there. It was middle of the road. It was good, it was enjoyable of the moment, but would I have been devastated if I never read this book? No. But am I glad I read it? Yeah, sure. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that is understandable what I'm trying to say. But that was the first one I read. And also it could be because I didn't read the synopsises. I didn't know anything about these books going in because there was only one book per song, and I wanted to read a book for all the songs. So, I don't know. But I do know that the book that I'm currently reading is XO, or one of the books that I'm currently reading is XOXO by the same author, Axie Oh, and it's for the song Free. And it's not just like the author is not for me, because I'm really enjoying that book. And I'm really sad that I didn't get to listen to all of it before it went back on hold. So I have to wait, but I'm gonna happily wait for that book because I'm really enjoying it. The XOXO is more of a contemporary story about like a girl and a K-pop idol romance. And so very, very different vibe. I was a little worried after I read this, like, I was like, I hope I don't like read 2 books from the same author and just kind of have lukewarm things to say about this author, especially if it's the only one that I'm reading 2 books from. You know, that's not fun. That's not enjoyable. I wanna gush about books. I wanna like praise books. So happy to report that when I finish XOXO, unless something goes terribly wrong in the book, unless the book goes downhill from here, I'm enjoying it a lot more. And then the next book I read was Once Upon a K-Prom by Kat Cho. And this book was for the song Soda Pop. So Soda Pop is the first song that the Saja Boys, which is the demon boy band that is trying to break the Honmoon by stealing the fans from Huntrix. It's the first song that they sing, and oh my goodness, this song is so catchy. So like, there's a part in the movie where this guy is like scrolling on his phone, kind of like TikTok, and all the videos are just people doing the dance from Soda Pop, and one that was like that looked like my real life feed. And two, it is so correct. Like, that song and dance are just so addictive. So good. Oh my goodness. I had really high hopes for Once Upon a K-Prom. And especially because this book was actually already on my TBR. Like, I had put it on there when the book first came out, but I had just never gotten around to reading it. And so whenever I saw that it was on here, I was like, oh, great. Perfect. No, you don't go there. You don't go there. So I was super excited to read this. And this book was so cute, guys. It was cute. Does it fit the Soda Pop vibe? It does, in the sense that, like, the song is really light and airy and fun, and this book was a very light, airy YA romance. So in that regard, yes, but like, this book did not give me Soda Pop vibes in story. Like the other book, The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, I got what it sounds like vibes from every aspect of it. This one, not so much. But let me describe what this book was like. So we have a girl who is a junior in high school, and she had a best friend when she was like 10, who was this guy. I can't remember his name now. I'm so bad with remembering main characters or just characters in books' names. But this guy she was friends with, when they were 10, he moved back to Korea, South Korea, and he then ends up becoming a super, oh, well, that's not gonna work. He ends up becoming a super successful K-pop idol. And it kind of like, the story of this K-pop idol and the company and stuff truly reminds me of BTS. Like, the story very conveniently has, like, there's no BTS, but there's other, like, real life idol groups that they reference and things like that. But no BTS, and their group is just a couple letters put together, just like BTS. And they're formed from a small company that was a little nobody, and now they've taken over the world and they're like the heads of K-pop, just like BTS. So when they were 10, before he moved away, he was like, well, don't worry, I'll be back. I promise to take you to prom. And it's prom's coming up because it's their junior year. And the girl is very much against prom. She's trying to save a community center and trying to convince people to not spend as much on prom or just straight up not go to prom and donate the money that you would have spent going to prom to this community center that has benefited a lot of them. But, you know, these are high schoolers, so people don't necessarily care about that. So she's doing that, and then she gets a knock on her door, and it's her friend, who she hasn't spoken to since he moved away, and is also now a super huge K-pop idol, and he asks her to prom. But there's cameras there filming it, and it's all, I mean, they haven't spoken in years, and it's all real weird. So the book is essentially, it is a romance book, so you kind of know what's gonna happen. But it's essentially them reconnecting and trying to figure out what's real and what's going on and how to, you know, just navigate this rekindling of a relationship. So yeah, my ratings for this, we have the characters 3.5. I really enjoyed a lot of the characters, but I didn't necessarily enjoy the main characters. I didn't dislike the main characters, but like they were just kind of there. And then like some of the extras and things like that were more charming, or the main characters, they'd be fine, they'd be growing on me, and then they would do something. And again, it's a romance book, so we gotta have that like, we're not gonna communicate properly, we're just gonna take assumptions and react to them type mentality, which sometimes does irk me. So it definitely irked me in this book. Because the main character is not very good at putting herself in other people's shoes and seeing how things are going to affect other people. She only takes into consideration how it affects her, and she takes things personally when they affect her, which again, you know, she's a high schooler, you know. I'm reading this from the wise old age of my late 20s. And so obviously I'm going to see things a little bit differently than the main character does. So I gave them 3.5. It kind of got on my nerves sometimes with their actions and choices, but overall they were enjoyable to hang out with, you know? The plot was a 3. Pretty basic, pretty generic, you know. I did like whenever we find out why he came and asked, and it wasn't just to keep a promise from all those years ago, I really enjoyed that. But I kind of wish that like it might have been more fun to see it from that perspective a lot longer than we did. And just diving more into that aspect of it, like the consequences and what all this means, and how idols date. Whenever, if you know about K-pop idols, like there's in Korea, they get into a lot of scandals, mostly dating scandals, and realizing that an idol is dating someone is sometimes detrimental to the idol. Like they can like be kicked out of groups and lose their career over fans finding out that they're dating someone. I think it's getting a little bit better nowadays, at least on the international side. It is, but I don't know. So I would have, because of that being a real life thing, I would have been more interested to focus in on that aspect of it. Emotion-wise, though, it was a 4. It was so cute. So cute. This was a book that I was very easily able to just kind of like allow myself to get taken away from stuff. Again, there were moments where I was pulled out of it and I was like, what's going on? What is this? No, you just ruined it. But other times I could just kind of like not take it too seriously, relax, hang out, and enjoy the ride that was the book, which is one of the biggest things the book can do. Just let me vibe and enjoy what I'm reading. Sometimes I want to read for learning and unlocking stuff in this brain, advancing this brain, but other times I just want to have fun. I just want to relax, escape from my troubles, and so I like it when the emotion rating is very, very high. And then the relationship. So because this is a romance book, I'm not rating the ending because the ending is kind of always the same in relationship books. I'm just rating the relationship overall instead of the ending itself. And I gave the relationship a 3.5. Again, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it at times, but it wasn't like this isn't a one true pairing. This isn't an OTP. This isn't a couple that I'm really going to think about. They're pretty average, middle of the road. I enjoyed their story, but that's it. 3.5, definitely above average. Again, the emotions really do carry a lot of this because of how I was feeling. I was able to just get swooned, and like there were some gestures and moments that I was like, oh my goodness, they are truly so cute together. So I gave their relationship a 3, which ended up making the book overall a 3.5. So definitely better than The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. And I think that this book was truly just a lighthearted, fun, cute, easy read that if you're wanting that like little bit of K-pop in your story but not overwhelm you with K-pop, this might be it. Because it's not just about K-pop, it's about like those two worlds colliding and how things would happen, and yeah. It was good. But I don't think that this is like I don't know, I just didn't feel soda pop vibes from it, which was a little bit disappointing. So I have to try some of the other books, see if I can get a hold of some of those, and see if I can get those soda pop vibes. Now, do I know what I want from soda pop vibes? Absolutely not. But I know this wasn't it. It was a good book. I'm glad I read it. I'm glad I finally got it off my TBR. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend this for the song Soda Pop. The next book I read, however, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I loved it so much. Oh, it was for the song Takedown. No. For the song How It's Done, which is the very first song of the movie. The song that they sing at the beginning as they're getting out of the plane. This song truly does set up the movie And I think it sets up the movie in the best way possible, because we have these girls who seem pretty down to earth and normal, but they're K-pop idols, and they're just kind of relaxing, trying to eat before their concert, and then they realize that there's demons around, and they gotta handle business. So that's exactly what they do. And it is so good. It is so like the visuals of this section, the visuals of that section are so, it just truly sets up the movie. Oh my goodness. I don't know how else to explain it. But how it's done, the book I read for this song was K-Pop Confidential by Stephen Lee. Or Stephan Lee. And this book, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, 5s all across the board. I'm obsessed with this book. I need more. And there's a second one called K-Pop Revolution that I'm definitely going to be reading as soon as I can. Because, oh my goodness, this book, again, 5s across the board, literal perfection. I'm still, like, I've read this book probably 2 weeks ago, and whenever I wasn't reading it, I was thinking, like, I need to get back to my show. I need to get back to what I was watching. But I was talking about the book. I'm not watching it, I'm reading it. But that's just how immersed I was in it. And so the book, K-Pop Confidential, is about a girl who is a secret K-pop fan and really wants to sing, and then finds out, her and her friends find out that there are idol auditions happening for a company in America. The company's not in America, but the auditions are happening in America. And it's for the group, again, another BTS-esque group. Their name is a couple letters. Their company was a nobody, but now they're global sensations ruling the K-pop world. And so that company is wanting to create their first girl group. So they're having people audition and train, and then they're gonna go, like, if they pass, they go and become trainees and hopefully debut in a couple months. So our main character does audition. Spoiler alert, does get in, but I feel like you can kind of get that, because especially the very first, like, couple paragraphs is talking about how she's already in it. And then, like, it goes back to, like, kind of tell the story of how she got there. She's just trying to navigate trainee life and how brutal it is. It felt like I was watching I can never remember the word for them, but you know how, if you know K-pop, how Stray Kids, Twice, and a bunch of other groups, they were chosen and came together through a competition show. So, like, there's a bunch of idols, or there's a bunch of trainees trying to train, and then they have competitions and things to see who's the best, and then people get eliminated and stuff like that. So they didn't necessarily broadcast this until the very end, so they could have people vote. So, like, cameras weren't following them around the entire time, but we were watching them, and it felt like I was watching one of those shows. And I was so invested in all the characters. I wanted them all to succeed. I wanted all the people we were following to become K-pop idols, but I knew that wasn't possible because there was like, well, we weren't following this many people. There were like probably 40 girls there. And only 5 of them would be chosen for this group. So I was so invested. I don't want to spoil anything about this book. I just truly recommend you read this book. This book was so good, so like gripping the edge of my seat, essentially, while reading this. And it was just so, so good. It truly, like, I mean, I don't know personally how hard my idols worked during their training process, but this book made me feel like I understand it a lot more now, and I did not realize how much they sacrificed. And I know that it's probably even worse than this book does or talks about it. And so, like, just the dedication that these people have towards becoming an idol is just inspiring. Oh my goodness. And I didn't know there was a second one when I ended the first book, and I was like, I need more. I need to know what happens next. But also it kind of, I could easily see it being one book. Like, it closed off and you can kind of imagine what happened. But finding out that there is a second one, I was like, oh, thank you. I need more of this, and I'm so glad I can get more. So I haven't read the second one yet, but I plan on it. And was this book a good recommendation for how it's done? Yes. It's not, so like in the song, they're talking about this is how it's done, kind of like fighting demons. And they're not fighting demons. There's no fantasy in K-Pop Confidential. It's truly a contemporary story. But like, this is how it's done becoming an idol. And it was brutal, but you saw the heart and the dedication, and you saw the like the power and the skill, and you see all that through the beginning of the song. Like, we're able to see the Huntrix girls and how dedicated and zoned in and synced in to their craft, not only singing and being an idol, but also demon hunting, and just being able to see all that. Like, this book does truly, like, while it's not K-pop idols or anyone fighting demons, like, just seeing still that power, that drive, that will in becoming an idol. Like, this book was a perfect recommendation for the song How It's Done. So, yeah. I just want to talk more about this book. But I won't. I won't. Instead, we'll talk about the last one that I finished, which is For the Song Takedown. For the Song Takedown, the book that was recommended that I read was Strike the Zither by Joan. And this song I had high hopes for, because this song is sung not in the movie, but like there's during the credits, it's sung by Twice, and Twice is my alt group. It is the number one group of all the groups that I love and care about and support. Like, if I could only listen to one group, one musical group, not even K-pop group, just within all of music for the rest of my life, it would be Twice. So good. And they recently had a comeback. almost all the songs on that comeback are bangers. So good, so good. Like I know I'm getting off track, but the first song, This Is For, which is the name of the album as well. I loved the music video, but I was kind of like, it's fine, but it seems kind of cheesy. But then I listened to it like 4 more times and convinced, sold. You got me. There's been some songs that have been like that. Specifically like Vanner's Jackpot. Whenever I first heard that song, I was like, this is so funny. Like, I can't take this seriously. And then like not even a day later, I'm singing it because I can't get it out of my head. And that's how This Is For was as well. But so they sing Takedown. And so I had high hopes for this song. So in the song Takedown, they're like within K-pop Demon Hunters, this is the song that they're hoping to sing to truly defeat the Saja boys and secure all their fans back and hopefully seal the honeymoon for good. So there's a lot riding on this song, but the song is also filled with hate. Like this is not this song is a diss track essentially for the Saja boys. And this book is a perfect representation of that song. Like, I truly believe that this song, vibe-wise and story-wise, fits this criterion. But I was bored for a lot of this book. And it's a series. This book is a part of a series that I'm not interested in continuing. I ended up giving this book overall a 2.5. So we can kind of break that down. The characters were a 3.5. They were interesting, they were complex, they had lots of different stuff going on. And within this book, our main character is a strategist for a war. And we meet some of the other strategists for the war, like on the other sides, as there's people trying to secure the empire for themselves. So the book is very tense. It's very serious. And it takes itself seriously, but I don't think that's in like a bad way. It's a very tense, emotional book, but it's also kind of like, I would say it's a very slow-paced book. Like, it's not like it doesn't move. Like, it moves at times. It moves very fast, but for the most part, it feels like it moves very, very slow. And then for the plot, 2.5. There was an element that was brought in halfway through the book. And that element is what I was like, oh, that's interesting. And that was like the first thing that really made it interesting. Like, if that hadn't have happened, I probably would have DNF'd this book. And it's kind of what saved the book for me. Like, again, even though I didn't really love it, that's what saved it from being a DNF. And so the emotions I felt was a 2. It was very much I'm reading this story, I'm kind of intrigued of where it goes, kind of intrigued of what's going to happen, but I'm not invested. Like, if for some reason that was the book that had ended with me, like, I wasn't able to finish it before my hold was up and I had to like wait a week or 2 before I could borrow it again, I probably would have just like not bothered, you know? Was not very invested in the story. And the ending, because it's a trilogy, it didn't wrap up very well, which makes sense because it's a trilogy. And not everything was answered, and it left a lot of things open-ended, but it didn't satisfy me, or like it didn't satisfy me with wrapping up the parts that it did, and it was not intriguing enough for me to be like, I need to know what happens. Like, even though that the thing that happens, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. With finding out the true identity of the main character. I thought that was very interesting, but it didn't, as it progressed, it didn't progress in the way that I thought it would. And so it just like, I don't know. I'm satisfied. I don't need to continue reading to figure out what happens. I'm okay. So while I didn't necessarily love the book, I didn't hate it. It's a 2.5, which I think is like truly middle of the road, like average. If you like divide 5 by half, I'm pretty sure it's 2.5. So I didn't hate it. I don't know if I would recommend this book, but if you're wanting something that is like Takedown itself, this book is it. Like, this had the anger, the angst, the like pure passion and drive and focus to take down this one target and do anything you can to do that. So good. And the like fantastical elements that are implemented in this story are like very interesting. It very much is like, oh, okay. So yeah, I'm interested to see if at some point I can get access to the other books that are recommended for takedown and reading those and see how those are. Because this book truly did embody the takedown mantra and vibe. It just wasn't a book for me. And that's okay. But those are all the books that I've like finished so far. Those are all the books that I've like read to its completion, but like I said earlier, I'm reading XOXO for the song Free, which is Rumi and Jinu's song. So it's very much a romance. And then right now, while I'm waiting on the other hold to finish, hopefully I can finish this before then, Darker by 4 by June CL Tan. And this book, Darker by 4, is for the song Your Idol, which that song is so good. So good. Oh my goodness. That song, not vibe-wise, but like what it's talking about, reminds me of the song Idol by BTS. Just like some of the lyrics that they choose to say and like what the song is like meaning and things like that. Like, I just think of that song. But I also can't imagine BTS trying to break the Honmoon. No, they seal the Honmoon. They make the Honmoon golden. Oh. At least with some of their songs. Some of their songs could definitely break the Honmoon. And I've been seeing a lot of like, oh no, that one piece came out. I'll have to find it. But I've been seeing a lot of people online being like, okay, this song definitely breaks the Honmoon. This song protects the Honmoon, and just like picking songs from real life that would either protect or break the Honmoon within K-pop. And that's just like such a fun trend, because every time I'm like, yes, exactly. That one would break it, or that one would fix it. That one would seal it. And that one would definitely make it golden and things like that. So this book, not this book, this movie has just been so much fun. And I've never dived into like K-pop novels before. But I'm definitely gonna try to find as many books like K-pop Confidential as I possibly can, because that book, oh my goodness, so good. That gave me all the K-pop feels. Like it satisfied every inch of my little K-pop loving being. um, but yeah, so and then the books I haven't gotten to. So I haven't gotten to Golden. That's the only one I haven't started in any way, shape, or form. And the book that I'm going to be reading for Golden is Hurricane Wars. Again, I don't know anything about it because it was the only book for Golden, but Golden is my favorite song. So I have high hopes for this one. I really want this one to be good. I really want to enjoy the book, and I really want it to embody the Song of Golden, because like that song is just truly on a next level. And whenever the girls are like, this is the song that's gonna make the honeymoon golden and seal it forever, like I truly believe that this is the perfect song for that. Oh my goodness. Yes. You know, part of me was like, oh, I'll finish this entire thing during this discussion. I still have four more colors. Four more colors, and I still have more of this one. So that was a lie. I lied to myself. But it's okay. I'm not gonna be too upset about it. It has been so much fun reading like a K-pop demon hunter. We're doing what we can to to be able to do what I enjoy, which is talking about books and making videos, and while also protecting my energy and not forcing me to do this, even though I enjoy it, but forcing myself to do it when I have absolutely no energy to do it. No, thank you. So I figured that this would be the next best option. Discuss the books while we diamond paint, because diamond painting honestly is one of the most relaxing things I've ever done. I never thought I would like it, you know, um, because I do consider myself an artist, but I like to make things and design things myself. I don't necessarily like if I'm gonna embroider something, I don't embroider something from someone else's pattern. I design the pattern myself and embroider it myself. Same with like cross stitch, or the only one that I follow patterns for is crochet, because I don't know how to make patterns. I don't know how to make stuff from scratch with crochet. I can make blankets, but that's about it. So, but for most part, I do things by myself. Like I just come up with the idea, come up with the pattern myself. So I didn't think that I would enjoy just placing diamonds onto a sticky sheet of paper. But I do. It is so relaxing. It's like the truly being able to do something and not think about it and just not have to worry about, oh, is this turning out ugly? Ooh. How am I gonna make this not ugly anymore? No, I don't have to worry about that. I can just pick up the dot, place the dot, and then just keep repeating that. The only thing I have to worry about is if there is sticky enough wax on my pen. But I just have to be careful and not become super obsessed with it. After I have a few left over from this because we didn't have 12 people at the party. So I have a few of these, and then I have 2 that I got around after Halloween on sale at like Michael's. And then Walter, my husband, gifted me a Diamond Art Club one for my birthday, and that one's huge. Oh my goodness. I'm super excited to work on that one, but I don't want to buy any more until I finish the ones I got. And the Diamond Art Club one, definitely going to take me a long time. It's like 2 feet by 3 feet, so very big difference from the size of this one. But yeah, this truly has just felt like a little book club discussing books. And I can't make promises that I'll do this again, but I definitely want to. So we'll see. Yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. If you've read any of these books, let me know what your thoughts of them are, or if you've read other books that you're like, this book would fit perfectly. It totally embodies the song Takedown, or it totally embodies the song Soda Pop. Like, let me know. Always love getting book recommendations from y'all, or just we can straight up talk about other books, other K-pop books, or just the most recent book you've read, the most recent book that you're obsessed with, or even we can go negative. You know, it's fine. The most recent book that you absolutely hated. But yeah. Also, you can let me know what you're currently working on if you hung out with me while working on something. But don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more bookish discussions where we can just hang out and talk about books like we're in a cozy little book club. So, thank you again. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I hope the next book you read is a 5-star read. Sending all the good vibes your way. I will see you in the next one. Bye!